there is doing some actual imaging studies with the PCO tape on and with the PCO tape off to look at different things, and it's really the first significant studies. There's been a couple of balance-related studies that have been done at the University of Hawaii with Jason Gu, but that's pretty much it. So there's not a lot substantiating this, and in Japan, they don't really care if it's been proven to work. If they feel like it helps them, they use it, and they don't care what research shows or not. So it's huge in Japan, to the point where they have pre-cut strips that you can buy at the grocery store. And you know, it's crazy. I mean, so I'm going to show one that's for shin pain. And when I got my PCO taping, certification and took the courses, the instructor said, we don't know how this works or why it works, but it works 100% of the time. And it is really the only reliable tape job that I've ever seen that's worked every single time I put this on somebody. It's worked. I've never had an athlete who it didn't work on. I even had a girl who we were just talking about on the way here who has bilateral tibial stress fractures who had pain reduction with this. I don't know how. I don't know why. We don't know why, but she did. So, all right. So who's my guinea pig? You? All you're going to do is just measure off and take your stress off. Just slide down the end. So this can be medial tibial stress or over the anterior tibialis, depending on where you're going to anchor. A lot of times what I see is pain along the shin here, either post-tib tendonitis or medial tibial stress syndrome. I'm sure all you guys know that shin splints is just a layman's term. It's not really a diagnosis. Either have a stress syndrome going on that's typically over the bone, or just medial to that, where the soft tissue is, which is post-tib. And we see a lot of post-tib tendonitis, especially with ramping up of physical activity and a lot of running or physical activity on alternate surfaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure from the top of her foot, basically right at just the edge, I guess, of the first metatarsal. And I'm just going to take it up just to about mid-gastroc, not any higher. I mean, I can, but typically we don't have pain up here. So I'm just going to really work in this range here. Eitan, you have anything to add while I'm doing this? Should I put the little V on too? Yeah. So I'll show you a bunching technique for the kinesio tape too. Works similar to... Oh yeah, so the thing with kinesio tape is that we always round the tape because it cuts, the corners can lift up really easily. So when you're putting on your socks or you're putting on your shirt, you've got it on, we always round the edges because then it doesn't flip the corner off and then it starts to unravel on the body. So it's one tape job that we actually use. We're going to, remember, we talked about the rebound effect with the tape, and we're going to utilize that to its fullest extent with this tape. So there's a certain way that you have to take the tape off too. I'm just used to doing it so much I don't even think about it, but we never want to put tension on the end. So we typically don't put any tension on the ends. Even when all the different techniques or ways that we apply it, we don't pull the end. We only apply paper off tension between here and here. Okay? That provides stability, but it also, a lot of times it can, it's the area where the skin is being tugged, and so sometimes the skin can get irritated from that. And some people have adverse reactions to this type of taping, so hopefully that won't be the case for you, but it's very, very, I've never even seen it happen. I've just heard anecdotally. So when you peel the tape off, you want to have as little finger contact as possible with it because it changes the effect of it. If you notice when I take this off, if you guys get a chance to look at this, there's like some swirl markings that have been embedded into the underside of this, and that helps promote that circulation that we talked about in the lecture. So I'm just going to peel off a teeny little bit. I'm just going to apply it right here. I'm going to go right up the shin, right along the path of her pain. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now that I've got both my anchors down, I'm just going to peel the tape off. I would love it if you guys could experiment with anybody that's got shin pain in here that you guys know of and see what type of reaction they have. And now that I've taken it off, I haven't touched hardly any of it, right? Now I'm going to just have her plantar flex. And I'm not going to rub my hand along it, I'm just going to tap it. So I'm just going to tap it onto the skin, just like this. And then after that, I'll smooth it out. So the thing with kinesio tape is that it adheres very well. And the glue in the tape is activated by your skin's body heat. And the longer you wear it, the better it sticks because you're walking around, you're circulating blood. The blood is warming the tissue, which is then, helping to activate the glue in the tape to adhere better. So we always want to, whenever we apply it, we always want to rub it to try and see if we can stimulate that so that it doesn't unravel or come off, and so it sticks pretty well. The other thing too is that we typically will have athletes wear this for up to 3 or 4 days. So I'll put it on one time, and I'll maybe put it on twice a week. And I'll just have them wear it continually, unless it comes off. A lot of times, I don't know if you guys use quick dry adhesive, like tape spray. Sometimes we can put that on underneath if we really want a good stick. Like a lot of times for swimming, if I'm afraid that it's going to come off, or I'm doing this 10 minutes before practice and they don't have the time to increase the glue activation, I'll spray it and put it down just so I know it's going to stay.
Just to add on Scott's note, first time taping, we usually leave it for 24 hours, not more, just to see if we get good action or not. So we're trying to take it off after 24 hours and see how they react.
They have real specific pain. There's a little adjustment that you can make also, which is similar to the unloading jobs that we did with the McConnell. This is just, we're going to cut this little wide shape. So if I get an athlete that has real specific point tender pain, I can just point on one spot and they're really, really tender on that one spot. I can use this to help bunch the tissue up. So what I'm going to do is, again, lift it off here. And I'm going to angle it so that if my tender spot is here, this is where I'm going to angle my tape, just like that. You guys want some more of this? Peel it, split it, and I'm going to give it a little jiggle. So I'm going to peel it off just to about the ends, right? Because I don't want to touch the ends and I don't want to apply any pressure on the ends. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to try and just gather as much tissue as I can while I pull, and then lay it down. Pull to the edge, gather as much tissue as I can. I'm using the rebound effect to bunch the tissue. And so now all the tissue is being pushed in like this and gathered up in the area to try and unload the painful area. Got it?
Yep.
I'm telling you, this works 100% of the time.
If they've
Never been able to
taken more distributed anterior on more that side, do the same thing, or?
Yep, you can do the same thing, and you would just position the tape a little bit more lateral on the foot, and you'd go right over the area of the tibial anterior. So you can use it on both, but you're using the same. It's called a bowstring tape job. I guess that's the terminology that they use, but we're basically securing both ends. They're getting the stretch in the tape right from them plantar flexing, and it's lengthening the tape. And then when I lay it down and they let go, the tape recoils and lets the skin out. And then we're just isolating a certain area to promote circulation and to bunch the tissue up, similar to like what we were doing with the box taping. Questions?
Give it a try.
Yep. Cut a piece. Just pull it again, we're keeping the box together.
All right.
Brendan.